Being held hostage. It's like being in the car with a drunk driver. And they've locked the doors and they're not going to let you out. They're going 120 miles an hour. They're crazy. They're suicidal. They're not in their right minds. And this is what they do to children. I mean, this is messed up. Don't tell me that this kid hasn't been traumatized. And this is what they want to do to all of the kids out there. This is not normal. These people are not normal. They try to vilify what it means to be an American, what it means to be a conservative. Like Leave It to Beaver, Happy Days, the Brady Bunch. They call that evil. They call that extreme. Nick at Night is extreme these days. And according to them, what you're looking at here is normal. Most of us grew up playing cowboys and Indians or something like that. The girls are playing house. We all had a normal life. Without cell phones in the pre-9/11 world, it was like a utopia. And then the nightmare began. And little by little, we've seen them turn normal into freak show. And that's all it is. It's a freak show. What are you going to do? Your plan right now is to wait them out. To make your last stand. But they already got you beat there. They're going to irradiate you in your home and make it look like cancer. They don't need to send the SWAT team. They just connect the dots. They just send you a text message, weaponize your phone.
Answer right off the bat, but they're really, if this is like a physical space, I'm always going to prioritize my own safety, because oftentimes that discomfort somebody feels is actually just violence waiting to happen. And it's also not my job as the trans person to navigate the discomfort. I'm not the one who's uncomfortable with other women. They are. I'm just existing. And so my question is, if you're uncomfortable, why are you uncomfortable with other women? What pieces of internalized misogyny are failing you right now? What is in your way of acknowledging this person's or my humanity? Those are often not things that people can answer right off the bat, but they're really the important underlying questions to be asking ourselves. Sometimes right off the bat, though, I can sense it. I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. I know how this goes. And I give them a compliment. It's really hard to dislike somebody when they're nice to you first. It also helps me humanize that person sometimes and go, you know what? There was a time when I had some unlearning to do, and they're at that place in their journey. But it's tricky because often they're just uncomfortable and I'm unsafe.
Matt Walsh. Vanderbilt was apparently concerned that not all of its staff would be on board. Dr. Ellen Clayton warned that conscientious objections are problematic. Anyone who decides not to be involved in transition surgeries due to religious beliefs will face consequences.
Ruined my life. When you break it down, I decided that I didn't want to be a woman before I had ever even experienced being a woman. I had no idea what being a woman was like because I was a child, and now I feel like I will never entirely know. I want to say that I really feel like some people in the trans community and the trans medicalists and the doctors really, really target the most vulnerable of us. I have borderline personality disorder, and I know for a fact that this is the reason for my transition. It's a very difficult mental illness, and one of the core features is not having any sense of self or identity. And my doctors knew this. I told them, even though they didn't ask, that I had been diagnosed with BPD, and it was all fine to them. I wasn't happy as a girl, so that meant I was a boy and I was trans, and so I just took the cure that was handed to me. I was told that I was being given a cure, and I wouldn't want to kill myself anymore. And it wasn't true. I didn't want to cry in this video, but this is such a hard thing to talk about. I lost a lot of things to this, and I just hope that anyone else who's going through what I went through as a young girl will not be prescribed hormones and surgery because of other things. You know, there are so many mental health disorders that make you hate your body, and the solution isn't to change your body, it's to fix your brain, you know? I just don't want anyone else to ever feel this way. I lost my voice, I lost my chest. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have kids. I feel like no one wants to date me or love me because I'm ruined.
If you are going to assert conscientious objection, you have to realize that that is problematic. You are doing something to another person, and you are not paying for the cost for your belief. I think that is a real, I think that's a real issue. So I think, so yes, Vanderbilt, if someone has a conscientious objection to participating in this sort of surgery, it probably has to accommodate you to the extent that you can find another person who can do your job, who doesn't have an objection, other things of that nature. But I just want you to take home that saying that you're not going to do something because of your conscientious, because of your religious beliefs, is not without consequences. And it should not be without consequences. And I just want to put that out there. We are given enormous, if you don't want to do this kind of work,
not only seeing a few times a year can bring in several $1,000s that require a lot of visits and labs. It actually makes money for the hospital. Now these I got from the internet, but it's from the Philadelphia Center for Transgender Surgery, which does a lot of surgery for patients. I just want to give you an idea of how much these bottom surgeries are making. And I think this has to be an underestimate. This is for a vaginoplasty. They're quoting roughly around $20,000 for a vaginoplasty, but that doesn't include your hospital stay, that doesn't include your post-op visits, that doesn't include your anesthesia, your OR. So I would think that this has to be a gross underestimate. I think that's just like the surgeon's piece of it, which anybody who's ever been in the hospital knows that that's like 10% of it. And in the female to male bottom surgeries, these are huge money makers. Again, I think this has to be an underestimate. If they're quoting around $20,000 for a phalloplasty, there's been different things that I've read that say it could be up to $100,000. Dr. Winokur, who's our surgeon, says that there's entire clinics where the entire clinic is supported just by their phalloplasties, and that is like a fraction of the surgeries that they're doing. These surgeries are labor intensive.
It is the most unpopular opinion I'll ever do. I hope you guys duet and stitch and save or whatever you need to do to this, because it's going to get down fast. If I would have understood when I was younger that fighting for my rights as a lesbian would mean allowing children to drag shows, attaching child molesters to our community, and allowing children to change their sex before they even know what their favorite color is. I would have never done it. Never.
Well, it's a bit too late for a lot of kids, but thank you for your honesty and God bless you.
What it is, what it ain't. Kiss on the devil and you piss off a saint. But it can be love if you don't have to crawl. You say you don't need nothing, but you got to have it all. I wanna know. Can I be wrong? Jelly roll chain rolling on the rug. Token on another like a brand new drug. Do the same thing every damn day. Do the same thing, do the same thing. Never say they got it now.
say I'm the life of the party, 'cause I make a joke or two. Although I might be laughing loud and hearty, deep inside I am blue. So take a good look at my face. You'll see my smile looks out of place. If you look closer, it's easy to trace the tracks of my tears. Outside, I'm masquerading. Inside, my hope is fading. Just a clown since you put me down. My smile is my makeup I wear since my breakup with you. Baby, 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 take a good look at my face. You'll see my smile looks out of place. If you look closer, it's easy to trace the tracks of my tears.
Gender-affirming care is life-saving, medically necessary, age-appropriate, and a critical tool for healthcare providers. As a pediatrician, when it comes to making sure kids are healthy and happy, I know how important care that affirmed someone's true identity can be.
For heterosexual women, the ones who have children, I have no idea why you want drag queens to read books to your children. I have no idea. What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much? Other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage. I have absolutely no idea why you would want that to influence your child. Would you want a stripper or a porn star to influence your child? It makes no sense at all. A drag queen performs in a nightclub for adults. There is a lot of filth that goes on, a lot of sexual stuff that goes on. And backstage, there's a lot of nudity, sex, and drugs. Okay? So I don't think that this is an avenue you would want your child to explore. They could explore dressing up at home, like we all did, like all gay boys did. We all dressed at home and we had a great time. We had a great time with our girlfriends, putting on makeup, trying on clothes, things like that. But to actually get them involved in drag is extremely, extremely irresponsible on your part. And I understand you might want to look like you're with it, that you're cool, that you're woke, that you're not a Nazi, that you're not a homophobe, whatever it may be. But you can raise your child to be just a normal, regular, everyday child without including them in gay, sexual things.
If I were the Prince of Darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies, and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door.
They had a plan for manipulating the minds of the children through altering their knowledge base.
Through this comprehensive understanding of mind control, scientists recognize the importance of affecting cognitive development at a young age. This set into motion the infiltration of our educational systems, controlling not only what to think, but how to think. From programs like America 2000 to No Child Left Behind to Common Core,